Hi, Les Kiger here, the creator of Practice Yoga Simply, and today I want to talk to you about practicing your yoga. You see, everyone's yoga practice is unique. Your yoga practice is different from mine, is different from the person on the mat next to you at the studio, it's different from somebody else in this group watching these videos. They're all unique and different. There's a lot of factors that come into play here, and these are just a few of them, but I think it's useful to enumerate them and so that we can focus on them and tease out some of the differences. So body type is a huge one. You know, we are all different in our body types, and even if two people look exactly the same, quote unquote, on the outside, they can have different skeletal anatomy, which can dramatically affect differences in the kinds of poses that they'll be able to do and the flexibility that they'll have in those poses. For instance, my hips are really good at externally rotating, so sitting cross-legged, stuff like that, super easy. They don't internally rotate basically at all. So sitting, on my knees, bringing my legs apart and putting my heels to the outside, that kind of thing, laying back in that position just doesn't work for me even a little bit. So body type, huge factor. Experience. Some of us are brand new to this practice. Some of us have been practicing yoga for years. Not only that, but we have experience outside of the context of this practice also. Our entire life experience is going to play into the way that we practice yoga because everything is connected that way. Lifestyle, the choices that we make about the work that we do, the environments that we're in, the things that we eat, the other activities that we do, all of that's going to affect what we're looking to get out of the yoga, where we're looking to take it, what kind of factors we have going in our bodies, and what kind of things we have going on in our schedules. So lifestyle is a huge factor. The goals that we have. Maybe we only really care about the mental focus in yoga. Maybe we're just looking to train our mind, and yoga is the best way that we found to do it. Maybe we have some specific injuries or other physical things that we're trying to help heal. Maybe we have some strictly physical goals like strength and flexibility goals that we want to meet. Maybe we don't have any real goals at all. Maybe we're just exploring the practice. Basically, what I'm getting at here is that every single thing in your life is going to affect the uniqueness of your yoga practice. And that's an amazing gift. So it means that you have the responsibility and the privilege of shaping your practice. So if your practice is as unique as you are, it doesn't make any sense to think that you're going to go to somebody else, a teacher of any kind, a private teacher, go to a class at a studio, watch these videos, and that you're going to do this practice the exact way that is being presented to you. So what I want to talk to you about in this video then is how you take the responsibility for shaping your practice, how you trust yourself to do it, and what kind of choices you can make in that shaping. The key here is mindfulness, and this word's been getting a lot of play lately. And basically, all I mean by mindfulness is listening to your whole self. Listen to what your mind is saying, listen to what your body is saying, listen to what the sensations are. Just generally tune in to yourself. This is one of the great things about our time on the mat is it's time to just be with ourselves, which we don't get honestly that many opportunities for. We're almost always with somebody else, doing something for or with somebody else. And to get this opportunity to just listen to ourselves and what all the various parts of us and our holistic whole self needs is such a blessing. While you're listening to yourself, in my opinion, it's super key to trust your intuition. We don't tend to listen to our intuition a lot. I think we, in this Western culture, or maybe any culture these days, I'm not too well versed in any culture other than my own, but my feeling is that we're really taught to look externally for validation, for the yes and no, for the right and the wrong. And we're sort of taught and learn through the process of growing up to distrust our intuition. And when you start listening to yourself and you start trusting, what your mind and your body are telling you, that's when magic starts to happen. And when in doubt, if you're not sure whether to trust the feelings that you're getting from your body or your mind or whatever, err on the side of compassion. Be good to yourself, because if you're not going to be good to yourself, who is? So you want to work with your body type and anatomy. This is one of the first things that we talked about in what differentiates the uniqueness of different yoga practices. Like I talked about, there are poses that are just super easy for me, and there are poses that are, to do them the way that other people can do them is physically impossible given my body type. Another great example from my practice is I have the way that my shoulder sockets are shaped. I cannot possibly do a downward facing dog where I get that concave effect at the shoulder blades, and where my head will dip down and go all the way to the mat. My shoulders do not work that way. If I take them wide in the posture, my hands wide on the mat so that my shoulders go wide, I can go around some of that anatomical blockage, but it just is what it is. And that's, I can get looser around that, or more supple, I should say, around that particular feature of my anatomy. But it is my anatomy, and it's not going to go away. So I guess what I'm suggesting here really is to be accepting of your body type, take it as part of your practice, and then decide where the points are that are things you're just not going to worry about. And there are other places where your strength and suppleness will improve, and that's awesome. But learning to not fight the things that we can't change is a really huge part of this practice. Next thing you want to do is respect your injuries and conditions. If we're over 18 years old, even a lot of people younger than that, but if I was going to draw an arbitrary line, we probably have some sort of lasting injury and condition. This could be a physical injury or condition. It could be an emotional challenge. It could be, problems that we're really challenged by what we think about our physical appearance, or we're really challenged by the idea of working out with other people, or I don't know what it might be for you. But it's very likely that there's something that's going to make this practice challenging for you and make it hard for you to do it the way that other people do it. And this is a great place to work a lot of times on some types of injuries and some types of conditions. Not necessarily all of them. Yoga is not the fix-all for all of that stuff. But you can use it as a tool that way, potentially. But you also maybe just need to adjust your practice to fit so that you don't deepen any injuries or exacerbate any conditions that you already have. So I can't enumerate and go into a lot more detail here on specifics of different injuries or conditions. But one last thing I will say on this is that something to really pay attention to is that sensation is okay. Discomfort and learning to sit and be in a posture with discomfort, that's okay. But pain, for the most part, is not okay. So if something hurts in a way that feels damaging, you want to figure out a way to adjust for that. You do that by making modifications to the poses. You add points of contact to the ground. Maybe you take something from 2 points of contact to 3 points of contact by putting a knee down or something like that. You swap postures out. So if you can't sit on your knees, say, because of a knee injury, then you just use an easy cross-legged seat in those situations. You change orientations. So if it doesn't work for you to do a particular posture, like there's people that have a really hard time doing some back bends like bow, being on their chest and stomach that way. And you can alter that orientation so you're laying on your side, still get the same benefit from the pose, but not exacerbate whatever it is that makes it hard to do. Use supports. Rolled up blanket is a really good support. Pillows are good supports. You can buy particular yoga blocks to use for extensions. All those things are great. Another great one are straps to use to extend your arms for doing certain postures. Next, you want to make sure you choose the perfect session. Maybe you need something really slow and relaxing today, or maybe you need something to get you invigorated. Pick the session that's going to be right for where you're at right now. Be expressive in your postures and your movements. It's not just about doing something mechanically, it's about putting your whole self into it, deepening it in certain ways, extending in ways that are unique and expressive for you. Set hopeful goals for yourself, and this might be no goals at all. But if you are a person who likes goals, make sure that the goals you're setting are really helping you towards where you want to be and not becoming stumbling blocks for your practice. Work with your schedule. Fit the yoga in where it makes sense for you, and don't try and think that you need some particular practice. Maybe 10 minutes a day is great for you. Maybe 10 minutes 3 days a week is great for you. Maybe you really need a 90-minute session 2 days a week. I don't know what it is for you, but make sure you work with your own particular schedule. Share with others. Get support from a community to help make the practice easier. The community can help you generate ideas. You can share your struggles. You can celebrate your successes. And that's awesome. There's nothing in this practice that you can't customize. It's all open, it's all fair game. You want to make sure that you're challenging yourself, but honestly, we are all super good at challenging ourselves. And a lot of times the thing that we really need to do is go a little bit easier on ourselves and rest and relax a little bit. Thank you so much for joining me for this presentation. I hope it really helps you to free up your practice, understand that there's really no expectations or limitations here, that you can adjust this practice in any way you need to make it work for you, and that this really is your practice to benefit you, to do your way, so that you can go out into the world and do the amazing things that you want to do. So thank you so much for joining me. I hope that this presentation serves you, and I look forward to practicing yoga with you simply soon. Namaste.